This is episode number 13 of The Inspiring Talk with Tech Charge expert Gemini Dhar. Welcome guys to The Inspiring Talk. My name is Vijay Gautam. I'm host for this show. Each week I interview today's most successful and inspiring personalities to help you realize your inner potential. My guest for this week, Gemini Dhar, is Tech Charge expert. She helps people, especially children and women, to take charge of their own life. She has authored a book called 9 Ways to Empower, where she talks about building courage and strengths so as to gain overall growth in life. Apart from being an author and tech charge expert, Gemini is a fashion entrepreneur who started and turned her 40,000 rupees company to company with turnover of more than 100 crores. Gemini is a pure gem. In this episode, she talks about what stops most people from taking charge of their own life, how Gemini overcome challenges life has thrown at her, including losing her dad when she was 16. We also talk about self-talk, following dreams, and a lot more. Make sure you share this episode with your friends by visiting theinspiringtalk.com/13. Before I welcome Gemini, I would like to thank Audible for providing me with a free audiobook of The Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, which I enjoyed listening on my way to office. I highly recommend you to grab your free audiobook by visiting theinspiringtalk.com/audible. Audible has the largest collection of audiobooks which you can listen on your commute or while cleaning, cooking, or in between spaces such as waiting for a bus or standing on the queue. By visiting theinspiringtalk.com/audible, that is AUDIBLE, you will get a free 1-month trial and a free audiobook of your choice. You can cancel the subscription anytime if you don't like the service, and the book will still remain with you. So why not? Grab your free book now by visiting theinspiringtalk.com/audible. Now, without further ado, let me welcome the one and only Gemini Dhar. Welcome back, guys. I'm super excited in having Gemini Dhar with me here today. Thank you, Gemini, for joining me.
Hey, I'm super excited to be on the Inspiring Talk.
Yeah, Gemini. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. You tell me, how are you?
Life is good. Thank you for asking. And I would like to begin our conversation from younger version of yourself, who said, I want to be mother when people asked you what you wanted to become when you grow up. Please talk a bit about your younger self.
Yes, I wanted to be a mother from the age of, I don't know what. I have always grown up to inspire and aspire to be a mother. And that was a really hilarious incident that you have mentioned. So as a girl, I've been a very, very happy-go-lucky, lazy and pampered. And I was a daddy's girl. Mm-hmm. So for me, my father was really the world. Everything came to him and everything ended over there. So my father was really the driving force in my life, and I was really pampered by him. And I have shared my school homework with him, and we've cooked together, and I've had an amazing dad. So as a child, I have had big dreams, big hopes, but I never took any action. I was a dreamer, basically, Mm-hmm. I was more enchanted by life's, pleasures and fun and traveling and exploring. So I've had the pleasure of having an amazing childhood with my mom and dad. I would like to mention my mom because later on when we speak, I will share how she impacted me. But my mom and me have been the opposites. We've fought all our lives. All our lives we have been the opposites, Mm-hmm. So my father was a bouncing board for us, He was a buffer between both of us. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit about my childhood. I've traveled extensively. I've been to Africa, Monza, Dar es Salaam, Zambia. I traveled and I stayed there for 2-3 years of my childhood. And I studied in international schools over there. So I have been exposed to the world at a very young age. And that's really impacted my life.
Awesome. Wonderful. And when you were 16, I'm so sorry to say your dad passed away. And there was, life took into really tough phase. and there was, and then all the responsibility of home and taking care of mom came on your head, right?
Yeah, the thing is, Vijay, me and my sister, my eldest sister, are
Yeah.
two daughters, and I'm so happy that we've been brought up like, I wouldn't say like sons, we've been brought up like amazing children, the way parents bring them up without any discrimination. So, one day on 16th morning, it even brings a lump to my throat now because I haven't got over it completely. My dad was an architect, and he pampered us with everything. So like I told you. So one morning I just asked him, what's the time, Dad? And he just rolled over and there was no life left. So my world turned upside down
Wow.
just in a moment. So he was not ill. He just got a heart collapse is what they said. And I just lost him. And when you lose somebody, the trauma of losing somebody who is your everything, who's your world, is like shattering. So when I lost my dad, I went numb. I didn't know what to do because I was such a bed of roses. My life was like simple and beautiful, and everything I wanted, I got on the doorstep. So I didn't have to work or go through any challenge. He never let anything affect us, even if he faced many challenges, but it never affected us as children. So, me and my mom were left behind and we didn't get along together. She used to think north, I used to think south. We loved each other dearly. And my mom was a heart patient. She was going through very difficult health issues, and we lost our dad in between. So that was a fear of losing my mother also, because her health was so down that we didn't know whether she would survive or no. And all this trauma really, put me in a state where I didn't know what to do. And I was studying my fashion designing that time at SNDT Juhu. And while I was studying and my projects and everything, I was just gliding through my work. I didn't feel it, I was like totally numb. And somewhere that realization hit me that I was the only source of hope for my mother. Because my sister was already married. She used to help us out and she used to come. My brother-in-law has played the role of my foster father, you can say, because after my dad lost, all the guidance came from my brother-in-law, Nilesh Kapadia, because he's a CA. And any business, anything I did, the guidance came from him. The knowledge came from him, and I started taking him as my role model after my father. So he has played a major role. So they say son-in-laws are not, Jamai. Jamai is not considered a part of the family. But this gentleman came into my family as a Jiju, and he transformed my future because he gave me the strength, the guidance to grow, to do my businesses. And he's been with me even till today. He manages all my accounts, and that's why I've been pampered by him. I am very bad with my numbers, but yes, I did a lot of money. I did a lot of turnover. But when it comes to managing accounts, filing tax returns, or knowing your, the know-hows of taxes, and I always leave it to him because I had somebody to, fall back on, a family member whom I could trust, and he never broke my trust till date. So I think that was something really good that happened. And I started focusing on growth. I started focusing on making more money because we needed to have that financial strength in case my mom became ill or in case I needed to do something in life. So right from supporting myself and my family, I also had a vision and a dream, to travel the world, take my mother around, because we've traveled a lot as a child. I traveled with my father, and my mother enjoys traveling. So my dream was to take my mother to USA. We'll talk about it further when we discuss. But this was a dream. I wanted my mother to travel the world, and I wanted to make...
Yeah, you may like to talk about that as well, since I can imagine the challenge, the kind of pain that you went through. A 16-year-old girl who has got whole set of responsibility on her head and having to earn bread for your family. And now you have that dream of taking your mom to visit to US, and for any 16-year-old girl having no money, that was a big dream. So you may like to talk about that as well.
What happened is, right from the time I was in college, I had this focus that I wanted to do more. I want to make money. I wanted to save a lot of money. So my idea was not only to create a wealth, but my idea was to, not create money, but I wanted to save a lot of money. So I had something at the back as security. So since I lost my father, my mother became the most precious human on earth for me. And my focus was, I used to work from morning to evening. So in spite of doing my job, I used to do a part-time freelancing job where fortunately I used to make more money than my job. But I didn't give up my job because that was a confirmed security for me. Gradually, I started working with international brands while I was working, and I traveled around the world for my work. I've been to Sweden, Norway, Denmark. There is this lady, Gunilla Elm. She's played a very huge role in my life because Gunilla was a Miss Sweden and she'd worked in Hollywood movies. She was in her late 50s. And while I went to Sweden like a young girl, I think I was 21 or 22. And I traveled the world with her. I traveled all over Sweden with her. Wow. And we used to go and I used to read the maps to her. So it was like a fairy tale life for a teenager or a young girl. I could go around and we used to go and talk about my collections and we used to sell the products and we used to sell garments and we met so many amazing people and she really shared a lot about her own life while we were driving. So those 4 or 5 hours that we used to drive from Sweden to Norway or from one city to another city, she shared her life with me. And that really opened up the ideas and the possibilities that I can, the feeling and the confidence that I can do something more bigger in life came from those travel stories and your experiences with her and how I managed single-handedly to live in a city of Sweden at a very young age, staying alone in an apartment, managing my food because I used to not cook. I was pampered. So the first time I learned to cook my own meal and manage my food, clothes, everything. So it made me independent. It also taught me a lot of things about how you should value humans because I was staying alone in a city where I didn't know the language. There was no TV, there was no radio that I could understand other than music that I carried. So I was totally cut off and I used to stay alone. And the moment I got an opportunity to spend some time with Gunilla, that was like, I was absorbing like a sponge, I was absorbing everything she was sharing. And she used to go swimming, running, walking. She used to manage her own home. She used to manage 2 businesses. She used to take care of her whole big family. So what I learned is that age was not a limitation. What you want to do in life, you can do at any point of life. So this is what I really want women to understand, whether they are very young or whether they are going through trauma or anything, there is always a better and a stronger route to come out of your challenges. And this I've learned in my life, and each individual that process your path of life is going to show you some sort of a solution or some sort of a perception about life that you must learn. So you must learn from each and every person that comes across. If you come across bad people or people who you feel are not what you should be, even you should learn from them because they will tell you what not to do in life. So this journey has been very, very interesting. And so gradually my dream to earn a lot of money became true. I started my own business. I worked as a fashion designer in fashion houses. And then I started my own design house.
Yeah, so I would like to take you back to the stage when you started your own journey, when you started your own business, right? As you said, you got opportunity to work with these amazing people out there and travel around the world. But at the same time, you had that in your head always that you wanted to do business, or it happened, or how was that transformation or transition from having a job to starting a business happen?
Well, I'm going to say that I'm a guju. And it is said all around
It's
the
in
world.
blood of Gujarati.
Yes. So it's in a blood. And my father used to always say, ki Gemini, make one design such that you don't have to work for the whole month. One design should sell so well that you don't need to earn. And that time my requirements are not very big. When I used to sit down and chat with my father and things like that, a 5,000 rupee or a 10,000 rupee a month was something considered very wow to a middle class family. So he said, make one design that will fetch you, 10,000 rupees a month or 5,000 rupees a month. And later on in life, when I worked and I traveled, it so happened that I was working as a manager or head of a department in a particular company, and that company shifted very far from my residence. Okay. So to travel was a big challenge, and I said, why not do something myself? And I was already freelancing. I was teaching in fashion institutes. So while I was a lecturer, I was a visiting lecturer, I used to have the fun with children. I used to enjoy working with teens and teach them, and we used to do merchandising. So when I was working and also doing my freelancing, I had enough money to, sit down and just relax at that particular time as a teenager. And not as a teenager, I felt always as a teenager, so I keep mentioning myself as a teenager. But those have been those have been the years that I've really built the vision of my life. So when I started facing challenges of traveling and I couldn't give time to my family and my mother, I decided that I should do something on my own, and I got an offer from this company called Sheetal Clothing. It's a very well-known clothing company in Mumbai. And they used to do couture garments, and they said, why don't you design for us or supply to us? So that was my first opportunity, and I took it up. So while I was working, I started supplying to them, and gradually the word spread that I was supplying to that particular brand, and a lot of other brands approached me. So I also started working with Kalaniketan. So while I was working with these two companies, work started pouring in, and I was left with no other option but to expand my base. Yeah. And they really supported me. I would like to thank both the owners of the brands because they really supported me with finances. Mm-hmm. They made special payments and special... See, what I have understood is if your work is good, if you give value to what you are doing, and if you are sincere and you come across as a genuine person, people change their policies. People change their roadmaps just to fit you in. So I was given quicker payment. I was given more facility. I was given more, comfort to make and give it to them, make my products and give it to them. And that really helped because a single-handed woman who had to manage vendors, class, everything. I mean, I was multitasking, and they really helped me do all this. And because of that, I could establish my own company. Yeah. And I started my first company with a mere saving of 40,000. And I'm so proud because each and every penny of that business came from my hard-earned salary. So that gave me that confidence that yes, I can build something. And later on in life, I built a bigger company which crossed a turnover of more than, now I can say 130 crores. And I worked with each and every kind of person, anyone from a celebrity to a common person to vendors, So I've come across thousands and thousands of people. And what has happened is my journey, which I am now in as a coach, as a take charge expert, has come from all those people whom I interacted with, whom I learned with, whom I absorbed with, Yeah. So... When I was in college, I had the opportunity to work, to study under Wendell Rodrigues, Hemant Trivedi, Neeta Lula. Neeta Lula used to design for Sri Devi. So every time she used to come, that time Sri Devi was the sensation of the Bollywood. So whenever she used to come back to class and she used to discuss these stories about how she did it and what she did it, I mean, the mindset of I can and nothing is impossible was, seeded at that particular time because I saw a teacher, a lecturer come to me and talk about famous actresses, and she used to talk about it so effortlessly that we used to think, it's possible, even I can do it, Yeah. So what your teachers, what your coaches, what your mentors say to you, is, it's like you are imprinting your ideas on cement. It gets cemented in your head.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my podcast as well, a lot of my guests are saying it is the mindset that is built upon you by your teachers, by your parents, and by your mentors. So if you are teacher and mentor that are listening to this podcast right now, please make sure you choose the words rightly, because your words can either make or break somebody's life, right?
That happens. That is true for a parent also, because what you say to your children, sometimes we just mention some things which are, I've been sharing amazing stories with my children at bedtime. And, rather than telling them to do something, if you share a story, or if you expose them to a lot of creativity in the positive form, I'm saying not the gadgets, but I don't blame the gadgets. I love them myself. So I'm not talking about, see, the YouTube videos and the things that my children watch are really creative. It's not something they would do TP on, they would learn new things. So my daughter learned Photoshop only on tutorial videos from YouTube. So YouTube and all, a lot of people are not happy with social media, but I am really happy with social media, because it depends on what you expose people to. So as mentors, as parents, what we say, what we show, and what we do ourselves, walking the talk has been my motto of life. I want to, if I inspire from people, I want to be that inspiration, so that people will look at me and say, yes, this is what I would want to be, and this is how my life should be. So this has been my journey so far, Bijoy, to really absorb the best from people and implement it, work on me, and get the best version of Gemini Dhar into this world, so that my children can point back and say, yes, we want to be like that.
Yeah. So one thing I also would like to leave with my audience is the girl who started her company with 40,000, and it took time to even collect those 40,000 from her job, and then taking that to 10 crore was not an overnight success. There was a lot of hard work, determination, and persistence. And on the top of it, there was this strong mindset that always said, I can and it is possible for me. So it is very important to believe in yourself, to have faith in yourself that you are capable of whatever you want in your life and achieve success in your life, right? So that's one thing that I want to leave with my audience. And now you turned your company from company that started with 40,000 rupees to you said it is now over 130 crore, but you had a lot of money for yourself. Why didn't you settle down, and why did you took this new journey of empowering other women?
Okay,
please talk
so
about, you may like to talk about that turning point.
Yeah, it's like you are driving a Ferrari on the highway. And suddenly you come across many roadblocks, or you come across a new turn in life. So as an individual, we grow, and when we are growing, our needs, our vision, our mission changes. Yeah. I got married after a couple of years of starting my business, and then me and my husband, we started this business which has gone to 130 crores plus, and we started one more brand. So I've been innovating, I've been creating, and I've been experimenting with life. And while I was going through this whole journey of being married, and I married a Kashmiri, and it was a love marriage, but things in my marriage didn't turn out very well for last couple of years. So I'm now separated. And a lot of people say, oh, sorry, and they feel bad for me. But I feel we have to move on in life. You can't let anything hold you down, because as an individual, you have responsibilities. As an individual, you have to stand strong and go through any challenge, because there are billions and millions of people going through the same thing. If you can break through your challenge and share your story, there will be millions and millions of people who will be benefited from them. So my journey as an individual, I had a beautiful marriage, and I have 2 children. And both these children were my soul, because like I said, I wanted to become a mother. So even today, my priority does not change. When I'm given an option to be a mother and do something career wise, my priority goes to my children because they are real living human beings. So giving them love, nurturing them, and aspiring them to be something good in this world has been my motto from the time they're born. And I think all parents want their children to soar high in life. So that is something which every mother or every parent wants. So when I was in this journey, I realized that I faced a lot of challenges like health, debt. I was not in charge. Everything I had left to some other people, and I was not able to break through my challenges at a particular point because I had not taken charge of my life. So gradually, when I broke through each challenge and I was going through a lot of things, see, breaking up and being under separation is also a kind of trauma. Any human being, whether it is a male or a female or an individual, whether you just broke up with your boyfriend also, it is at that moment so traumatic that you cannot think further in life. At that particular time, if you focus out, if you want to contribute to people, and if you want to make your life worthwhile, and you start working in upbringing or helping people come out of their trauma and share your story with the world and show them that it is possible. Nothing can hold you down in life. It is your personal choice whether you are going to be broken down by a challenge or you are going to come out stronger and have a more larger than life experience and a vision in life. So any challenge, I believe, that you go through gives you opportunity to break through your comfort zone. And it will really, the discomfort that you go through is really going to give you a larger picture of life, something more wonderful in life. So every time I faced a challenge, I felt helpless at that particular time. So I was going through this confusion in life that when I am so well equipped, when I have all the money in the world, when I have everything, why am I not happy? What is it? What is wrong with me? And that is the time I realized that I was really busy discovering my own life. I was not focusing out. And during my journey, I tend to attend a seminar of Mr. Afin Khan. Afin is very close to my heart because any transformation that I wanted in my life, anything that I wanted to do in my life, to implement my vision, I just needed somebody to push me, to show me the right direction. And I went to that seminar and I saw this person. Anything and everything he said affected me because I saw that he himself is that person. He was walking his talk. He was genuine. When you say something, you should come across as genuine. No, you should be genuine, because you may say anything sincerely, but if you have not done that in life, it will not come across. That congruency will not come. Yeah. So when I saw Arfin talk on stage, it really, built that aha moment came in my life. I have so much more to do in life. Yeah. There is so much more to Gemini Dhar other than being a successful businesswoman. And subconsciously, I started developing this real urge to do something larger than life, which I had done a big turnover and I had loads of money, which I feel I am blessed to have that. I'm thankful to God for that. But that did not give me the pleasure, the happiness, and the contentment that I have now, because I've chosen to empower women and children, and that has been my passion. I have been helping a lot of children and women all through my career in my business. I've worked with vendors, I've educated children, I've given fees for them. But to empower a mindset, to tell a person who is broken down in life or who is really happy in life, but he's not in the right direction. I mean, people are just wasting their life doing nothing, at times. It's not bad to do nothing, but if you have a life and you have an opportunity, you have only one life to live. So if you can make it the best life ever, why not? Why waste it, So I have this, I have met a lot of women whose mindsets I have changed. They small things, small tools you can do every day. Small formulas you can apply to your life and it can transform. I mean, you can just add one thing that you love to do to a very mundane day, It's like, you enjoy speaking to a friend, okay? And you haven't spoken to your friend for many months, or you don't speak to them very frequently. It just take 4 minutes. It just take 2 minutes to speak to somebody you really love,
Yeah.
or somebody you really enjoy. So if you're going through a very bad day and you want to brighten up your day, or you want to change your mood, it just takes 2 minutes or 3 minutes to jump out of something which is holding you back. So we normally just want to be the victim, we want to be sad, we want to be harassed, we want to be troubled. We blame everything around us other than ourselves. So I think if you have a mindset of growth, you will never do that. And I experienced this. So I trained under Afin for nearly 4 years now, and I have developed this skills, and I have acquired this skills where you can empower a mindset. And I think just empowering a mindset, it can take a fraction of second to change somebody's focus in life, and it may take a couple of months. So if you want to really live a full and a complete life, I'm not talking about success in terms of money. It will come based on your skills and efforts. And once your mindset is empowered, there is no looking back. So if you want to live a fulfilled life, it is really, you have to work from within. You have to work from within for your health, mental health and physical health. It has to come from inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. You found out a new purpose that is more higher than, entirely just about making money. It's about feeling from inside and getting inner peace. And I so love that about the new mission or new purpose, you may like to say, that you have taken. And now you are a tech charge expert, that you help working especially for children and women. As per your understanding, since you have worked with a lot of women and children, what do you think stops most women or people from taking charge of their life?
Either there is awareness that is not there. They are not aware of the powers they have. They are not aware of the skills they own, or they are not confident enough. So they lack awareness, and most of the time, many a time, somebody else has to tell them you can do it. That's why it is so important to be among people who will encourage you, who will inspire you. Every day you should have a dose of inspiration, like you have your vitamin pill for your body, or you have your cup of tea. A cup of inspiration is really, really essential for a human being to feel and understand that they have the capability. So what happens, Bijoy, is a lot of times women know they can do it, they want to do it, but they don't do it. Yeah. And they blame circumstances, because it's very easy to say ki, I don't have the money. I don't have an extra hand, or I have to look after my children, or my parents are not supporting me. I'm talking of all generations. So every particular age group has some or the other excuse. Like a child says, I couldn't do my homework because my pen broke, or my pencil is not working. I mean, pen is not working. Yeah. So and a small excuse can, disempower you. So are we going to live a life full of excuses, or we are going to find that particular opportunity? So awareness and lack of confidence are major reasons, and they want to be pushed. We don't want to do things ourselves. We want to be pushed. We want to be told to things. Do this, do like that. I met this, I want to share a small real life example. Yeah. I have this girl who has been in a relationship, in a marriage for around 30 years. And she comes to me and says, ki, I love to explore the world, and I have not been able to do it. It's not that she doesn't have the money. I said, why didn't you do it? She said, my husband does not take me. And I said, oh, really? So what can you do about it? She said, no, I've been waiting. My family, I have responsibilities. So she just sat down and wrote all the excuses that she was giving herself. And I said, if you continue like this, do you think you will be able to travel the world for another 5 years or 10 years? She said, no. So I said, what are the things that you need to do to travel? She said, buy a ticket, book a room, travel. And I don't want to go alone. So I said, find a group. She said, yeah. And I said, would you do that? She said, yes. it was so simple, but she could not see it. So, and there are bigger challenges like most of the time I find women, they lose somebody in their life, whether it's a father or a husband or a family member, and they are stuck in that trauma for years. They're not able to come out from the trauma. So we have this tools and formulas to really empower your mindset. So small things can hold up, it's like a small nail. We say an elephant will pass through a wall and a small tail will hold him back. So it's like that, you can do loads of things in life, but a small thing, your small thought process, a hesitation, when you hesitate to take a decision, a lot of things go wrong. So, I mean, if imagine a doctor hesitating to take a decision, should I cut or not cut?
Yeah.
I mean, a life will be lost. So that confidence has to come from within, and that confidence can be developed. Nobody can tell you what you can do. You need to experience that you can do it. You need to have the confidence to do it. That's why it's very important to self-develop yourself. This is a very commonly used word, but I'm saying you inspire yourself so that you can inspire others.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that is really important. So two challenges that women really face are they are not aware of their power beliefs, and they are not confident enough at times to do things that are outside their comfort zone.
Yeah. And, one thing that fascinates me about, not only about women, but of any people is, when you know that you have got that particular talent within you, and if you are not expressing it out to world, and that gives the biggest pain that you can ever have in your life is not being able to express and put out the talent or the skill or strength that you have and demonstrate it out to world. So as you said, there's a lack of confidence and awareness. So how can they begin, their journey of taking charge of their life and building confidence in themselves?
I think confidence can come from doing. Nobody can tell you can do something. You have to do it yourself. So whatever confidence I have today, and with God's grace, I am really happy to share that I am most of the time really, really sure, other than, I have my own weak points, but I'm very confident of doing things, and I start with a mental attitude of I can, I'm strong. So these are the two words that build my life. I'm strong. I can go through anything and I can sustain, and I can. So when I start with a mindset of I can, everything is a possibility. It is not a hurdle. So it is not a challenge. It is a possibility. Even if there is a hurdle, I know I'm going to jump over it. So the I can mindset and the confidence comes from doing. So you have to do. Without doing, you cannot sit in a corner and just meditate and say it will happen. Of course, the mindset is you first think about something and then you do it. Even subconsciously, you think about something and then it happens. So becoming a take charge expert didn't happen. I did it, I worked on it. So now that I have come up with this vision of mine, and I want to empower millions and millions of women who will in return empower millions of women. So I want to start a chain. I want a chain reaction. I want ripples to spread around the world, so that I'm not empowering somebody to make only money. I'm not empowering somebody only to build a beautiful relationship or build a beautiful life. I want them to go beyond and do it for others also. Like I want to do it for others, I want them to do it for others. So I believe there are small tools. There are small things you can do daily. And this is going to really change, because like I say, your yesterday is your tomorrow's today. So you leave something behind yesterday that is building your today, and which will help you to go ahead to your tomorrow. So if you're doing something today, this is going to build your legacy. Start building now. It's not too late. Even if you are 60 years old, you can do something today that will leave, by the time you leave this planet Earth, you've left behind something really, really valuable. So I feel you can add, there are small, small tools and formulas that I have done. There are things you can write down. There are things you can add to your daily routine that can really change the way your life is giving you an outcome, the way things are happening. You can really change
Absolutely.
that.
Go out, meet people, learn from them, and see how things are happening, and just find a way, right? You just don't have to begin, a whole.
See, lot of people, fortunately, know what they want to do. They don't know how to do it. So you can get mentors, you can get help of people. There are so many individuals available on this earth who have done it. Don't go to people who say they can do it. Go to people who have done it, because they will share their real life experiences. I have my YouTube channel, Bijoy, where I really interview a lot of different kind of personalities. Either they are famous or they are just common human beings, common people. And each individual shares something about themselves, or shares one or two things about themselves that you can really, if you even note down, that these are the qualities of a winner. This are a quality of a coach. This are a quality of a champion. It is so easy to follow the formula. You just need guidance. You need somebody to keep on track. I realize, a lot of women start with building their lives and then they give up halfway through. So what I have done is I've built a membership site which says Take Charge Ultimate, where they can log in and they can daily go through videos which are made out of real life people and experiences. Or they can download PDFs and they can do their online programs. They can read, like we spoke the earlier day about my book 9 Ways to Empower. The book which I wrote is not perfect in grammar. I always keep saying that because I've not been a literature person, but I have lived my life in a way which I would share in a way that would impact somebody. So I got this 9 amazing women in my life whom I know. Some of them are celebrities. Some of them have acquired some real powerful skills in life. So I got them and I got them to talk about the things that I really feel I strongly about. Like I feel gender difference is overly discussed and people use it as a victim mode. I am a boy. Oh God, she's a woman. I'm a lady. I'm a girl child. So I think we all are born as human beings, and being a girl is not bad. Being a boy is not bad. Both of them have their own USPs. And why do we talk about equality? Equality is not something that we need to fight for. Equality is something that we need to give ourselves. If you feel equal, nobody can make you feel inferior. If you stand up for your rights, you will get your rights. Nobody is going to serve you food in your plate. You need to earn it. You need to develop it. So I think, yes, there is a lot of things going against women, and women need to stand up and fight for anything that is wrong. Whether it is a guy or a girl, you need to stand up. Tomorrow, if a male child is being, if a boy is being harassed or hurt or by somebody, I will stand up for him. It doesn't make a difference whether I'm a woman empowerment coach or what. Tomorrow, I find a friend who is a male going through something. I will give him tools to empower himself. But my focus is on women and children, because I, as a woman, have a journey which I can share with women, and they can see, yes, this can be done. This can be done. This tool can be applied. So in my book, I have addressed topics which are very common. Gender difference, financial freedom, and dreams, how dreams can make money for you. So just going for your dream and making money today via social media is possible. You've seen the Instagram people who are just using makeup and earning crores of rupees. They are just doing tutorial videos of dogs, cats. So what I feel is, when you put your passion into it, when you put strategy into your work, in your business, you can grow tenfolds. And these are like keys, these are keys to the lock. You open the locks one by one and you discover the treasures within. So I believe that people have all the opportunities on earth possible if they want to grow. The first thing is, you want to break out of your comfort zone. There is an opportunity of an amazing life ahead. So every person listening to this interview today should really sit down and think, do I really want to change? What will change bring for me? If I change what I'm doing today, if I improvise on what I'm doing today, how will my life change? And I always ask people to say, my life is. Just write a couple of lines on your life. My life is. Bijoy, what is your life about? I'd like to ask you this question. I know you are asking me. I'm on the.
This is
What is your life about? My life
uh,
is. How? What would you say?
it's about bringing impact in the world and giving back to community, serving in the level that I can serve and help people. So the purpose of starting this podcast even is to bring life of these successful people and just help people know that there are challenges and struggle in each one of our lives, and each one of us go through that phase. It's only the determination and the kind of courage that we sow from within ourselves that makes the difference. And if you sit down there and cry for years, okay, I have gone through that challenge or trauma, or I cannot get over it and this is not for me, then it's never gonna happen. When I have conversation with amazing people like you, I get to know that each one of these people have gone through that phase, have hit the rock bottom in their own life, but there was that voice coming from within that said, this is not who I am. I am more stronger than the pain that I'm going right now, and this pain has to end. And when you have that strong sense of belief that is coming from within, you can make the real difference in this world. So that's about my life, is about bringing those stories out and helping people know that they have that within themselves. They don't have to search it anywhere else. So it's all about that.
So, Bijay, you know what? When I hear you, and I feel so good because you're really sorted in life.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody is sorted. Most of the women and men I ask my life is, they said, my life is difficult. I'm a struggler. My life is this. My life is that. So the way you look at your life, from the lens that you look at your life at, that is the kind of filter you're using. So if you are using a dark filter, your life is dark.
Yeah.
If you're looking a bright filter, your life is still same, but you're looking at things in a brighter perspective. So that is what exactly mentors do.
Yeah.
They make you focus, they make you see life in a way you should see. So that's all about inspiration, I feel, because inspiration is again the same thing. You are showing people a life which is beyond ordinary, extraordinary. You just have to add a little extra to make your life extraordinary.
Yeah, but all those lives were ordinary at some point of time, and they just
I think even extraordinary lives are ordinary. They still go through. Even an extraordinarily successful person goes through down moments. It is part and parcel of life. When you do business, there is going to be profit, there is going to be loss. You can't just think about profit only. If I did 130 crores of turnover, I did a lot of loss also. But we always talk about the profit.
Yeah, I mean, you just put it very well. I just want to bring focus on that, because most of us is looking at the tree that gives the fruits, but what goes down to ground and the root that tree has is, that's where we need to focus, because what all we are focusing is, only the success. What goes behind that person is something that we should be looking forward. When I go and watch some movie, people are talking about the acting and the dialects. You know what I do? The first thing that I do when I go and watch movie is go back and read biography of that actor or actress or the director.
Wow.
So I mean, that has been my nature as a child. I wanted to know what went behind that. What are the struggle or challenges, and how did this person become who he is today? So I think that's where we need to be focusing, rather than focusing on the glamour and the kind of lifestyle they are living. What did they do to be at the level they are right now? So I think that's where we should be focusing it. Thank you for putting that up.
There is always a trigger point, things trigger, sometimes you are going through life day in and day out and living. Sometimes you're going through a bad relationship. Sometimes you're going through a bad business. And that is a trigger point. One day you just stand up and say, enough is enough. No more. That is the day life will transform. When you stop taking mundane things, ordinary things, things that are disempowering you, and you stand up and you use your trigger point and say, no, not more, no more. That is the time your life changes. And believe me, transformation, change, breaking through challenge is not easy. but it can become really easy if you have a mindset. So today, if I'm facing a challenge from my real life experience, I'm facing a lot of challenges because I'm into a lot of legal hassles now. I'm doing a lot of legal work, and I didn't do not a single line of law I have ever read in my life. So I was totally ignorant. But when I'm going through this legal thing, I can either go to the court and cry and say I'm alone and I don't know anybody and I have no news, or I can, you know what I do? I carry books, I carry inspiring videos, I carry things, and I sit and utilize my time while I'm there, where I'm waiting for my turn to come. So I am learning, I am educating myself, and I am doing the best possible I can. I do make mistakes. It's not that everything is a success. There are 20 mistakes because before there are like 10 successful things that happen. But there are more errors that you go in life. There are many rejections you go in life before you get that particular, like I speak to my people, the actor friends, audition. They give so many auditions and one get approved and one can take them to,
even as a designer, when you create 10 design, 9 of those are, let's say, rejected and only one of them is,
I used to create, I remember whenever my buyers used to come from Dubai, Kuwait and stuff like that, they used to call me. And whenever they used to come, they used to say, we are coming. And we used to not sleep for 4 nights or 5 nights before they come. And we were getting together collections. And we do more than 300 designs, in 2 months. And after those 300 designs, they select 20. Sometimes they select 30 designs. Sometimes they select only 5 designs.
Less than 10%.
But let me tell you, they used to book orders like 500 pieces, 1,000 pieces in, that. And it used to be crores of order. So, sometimes it's not necessary to be successful in everything. Choose your forte and, basically what I'm trying to say is success comes. You have to keep doing it, and you have to have a mindset I can, because the mindset really, really plays the 90% role in the 10% results that you get,
Absolutely. So guys, the book is 9 Ways to Empower, and this is especially written for women. So this book is definitely going to help you to have courage from within, and this will help you to add strength and passion to live your life and dreams, and if you want to shatter all your limiting belief. So the book is 9 Ways to Empower. You can find the links to get this book by visiting theinspiringtalk.com/13, and you will also see all the resources such as people book that we have talked about in this episode by visiting the show notes of this episode at theinspiringtalk.com/13. Now Gemini, before we move into enlightening round, are there any last piece of information that you'd like to share with my audience?
I feel, you should, I really want people that they should get into a habit of writing. Whether you write 1 line or 2 lines or 5 lines, because I have realized that writing, I'm not talking about writing a book. I'm talking about writing daily. If you write 2 or 3 lines about what you want to do or what you feel, I feel great today, or I feel whatever, it will be really empowering. It's a very empowering tool to write daily, because that's why, along with my book, I've given some power programs worth 10,000 free. I want people to come on to 9waystoempower.com. Once they buy the book, they get the link to that particular thing. If they register with this, I'm giving away free programs for them. They could really analyze what they've done in life, and they could write, and writing can really help you achieve your vision and mission. So other than talking, speaking, sharing, it is really important to write. Reading, of course, is very, very powerful. So I want that people should write,
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you write, whatever gets written gets done. That's what Brian Tracy also says.
Yes.
So Gemini, are you excited about Enlightening Round?
Of course I am.
Awesome. What inspires you to do everything that you do?
Me being a mom, and I want to be a role model that the world remembers. So leaving behind a legacy that is really, really awesome. So making my father proud and my children proud. I mean, this is something that really keeps me going.
Which one daily habit do you believe has been a game changer for you in your success journey?
Daily, tell yourself you can, and write something that you want to do. So prioritizing what you want to do in life is really important. So daily build your priority list, keep going, and don't give up. Persistence is something that will really, really change everything.
There are some books in each one of our life, they come as a life-changing book. Which one book for you has done same for you, which have helped you in improving your own life?
Law of Success by Napoleon Hill, recommended by my mentor. And really, really, it is a 1,000-page book. And I'm somebody who used to not even reach 5 pages. So for me, completing that book was an awesome achievement. And there are some really powerful tools in that book. So Law of Success. And of course, 9 Ways to Empower.
Yeah, obviously that is something that people should be reading. Make sure that you get her book. So let's say your life turns back and you are now a 18-year-old girl and you have to start this journey all over again. What are those 3 things that you would have done differently?
I would have traveled the world all over and taken my Take Charge series all around the world, because I was younger, no responsibilities, and I was not bound, by my beliefs. So that time, if I had this opportunity to be what I am today, I would start all over again with a bigger vision, all over the world, empower people all around the world, and focus outward. I would also want to, do a business where I would have narrowed down the clientele, to work with a particular field, specialize myself in a particular thing, and definitely get more digital savvy. I would have really rocked the digital world if I was 19 years old, and I would do that. I would advise all 19 years old or 18 years old to, because digitally you can reach millions and millions of people. What we are speaking today will go to crores of people if leveraged in the right way, and it will help a lot of people. So even if one person listens to this interview and they decide to change something in themselves, I think our time has created value.
Amazing, Gemini. So before I ask you the last question, can you please share with my audience, if they want to learn more about you, get your book, connect with you, how they can reach out to you, and what's the best way to connect with you?
Okay, if they want to understand something about real life, then they can check my YouTube channel where I've got a lot of interviews. I have my membership site where they need to register. So they need to come in on GeminiDhar.com, put in their email ID and phone numbers, and that is the way they connect with me. So anytime I'm having a seminar, I'm having a program, or I'm giving away some freebies, like free, we are going to start an offer for my book 9 Ways to Empower in this coming week. Well, till 31st of December, as many as of them, they want to avail the book, they can buy the book through Amazon, and we are going to give an offer price for them till 31st of December, so they can get the Kindle version, and they can connect with me via email, or they can connect with me on my fan page on Facebook. But I prefer that they connect with me on my GeminiDhar.com, so that every time I'm doing something new, they will be notified and they will get regular updates about my videos that I'm uploading. So they can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, or my membership site or my website.
Gemini, it has been phenomenal. So any last piece of advice that you'd like to leave out to my audience?
I am too young in life to give advices, but I would really want them to inspire others in life. So build a life that will inspire somebody. Leave a legacy. This is only one life that we have. And I really want, whether you're a male or a female or a child, you should take charge of your life. Don't blame others, take responsibility, and you can do it. So I feel they can really, really rock this world if they take charge of their life.
Awesome, Gemini. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's been amazing speaking to you. Thank you, Bijoy.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed listening to this and learned something out of this, make sure to share this with your friends by visiting theinspiringtalk.com/13. There's a lot happening on Facebook page of The Inspiring Talk. Make sure you like the page and never miss update from me. Also, make sure you visit theinspiringtalk.com/audible to get your free audiobook. Thank you for listening. I'll catch you in the next, and now go out there and do something inspiring.